Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Thursday, everybody. What is up? Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan, the Book, Matt Perrault, the Bostonian, live on our Twitter and YouTube at Boston versus the Book. Sports Grid, overnight replay, midnight replay, 9 p.m. Pacific time. I'm wearing red. Dave's wearing green. There's a police song somewhere in there. How are you, sir? What is going on today on this Thursday?
It's been a hell of a week, Perrault. A couple of days ago, we were talking about curtains. Thought the show was curtains. Yesterday, we got a little sticky with some things. Little discussion, a little bit of laughing. It's amazing what the people notice and what the people see. Who knew that when you touched another man's hand and it stuck to the palm? Who knew? But late night last night, we'll get into that as well. We got to actually get out and meet the people, meet a couple face-to-face, meet up with brigaders. Might have some value down the road, might have some fun. It might be okay to get in touch and hang out with actual, real human beings, which is what we did in Vegas. And now it's Thursday. It's a light card today.
Light, jeez. Thank goodness for two playoff games, a hockey game and a basketball game, because otherwise it'd be a zip going on besides the PGA.
What about the baseball?
So what, 5 games going on in baseball, and 3 of them are going on right now?
Actually being played right now, 4 games, which again, if we get distracted, that's why. But we're here, we're focused, we're ready to go. No swearing again. I don't think so. Right? No. Yeah, but
no.
There will be laughs.
Until bonus time.
Until bonus time, which again, at the end of the show, there's bonus time. There's best thing about today. And there's a lot of things along the way before we get there. But we're here. The brigade is here. Thank you guys for being here. It's Thursday. It's not Roll Call Friday, but we're ready. We're ready.
Yeah. So good stuff. All right. Last night, you made mention of it. We had a chance to come out and see a couple of people from Indiana, a couple of brigade members who have been real big diehard supporters of the program, and guys who came here, made their own hats. We didn't buy it for them. They made their own versions of the BVB hat, which was super cool to see them do that, and a chance to hang out with them. I talked to them for about an hour before you showed, and then I think you stayed another hour after I left to hang out with the guys. And look, I kind of said this to those guys, but I'll say it on the show as well. Our schedules are nuts, okay? But when we have the ability, if you guys are going to be here, excuse me, if you're going to be here, let us know. And we'll try our best to come down and meet you guys. And, you know, Vegas is a really cool town because everyone comes here like once a year, once every 2 years, whatever. And when you guys are here for whatever event you might be coming in for, hit us up. My DMs are open at Sports Talk Matt on Twitter. Just say, hey guys, I'm going to be here for those dates. You know, I know we're already seeing people RSVP for the circus shows on June 8th and June 9th.
Yeah, baby.
Which is very cool. So we already have, I think 4 people have told us they're coming to town for it. So that's really cool to see you guys say, hey, I'm either it's my birthday or I'm taking a vacation or it linked up. I just happen to be in town that weekend or whatever it might be. So we want to interact more with you guys now here post-COVID, as we're now into this opportunity for the show where there's no one that's going to ask us, you know, guys, you got to sign a waiver. If someone's going to come and hang out with you guys, you got to sign a waiver. You know, you can't do this because they might get in trouble. And if that happens, the company's liable. Baloney. Okay. That's now done and gone. We don't have to ever answer those questions ever again about just going and hanging out with an adult at an adult place.
Right to voicemail. Those calls are going right to voicemail.
We'll never get
We're
them
not
again.
taking those calls.
No more. So definitely tell us. And so it was really cool to hang out with a couple of guys who were in law enforcement in Indiana. and we took up pictures. We posted it on our socials. So very cool stuff last night. That was a lot of fun. It was a late night, as you mentioned in the chat. It was, I think I taped the juice at midnight last night, which is not normal for me to tape the podcast. Definitely a late night, but good Thursday or a good Wednesday night into a Thursday.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And when it was another Dave and Ryan, and it was a pleasure to meet both of them.
Yeah.
Midwest guys, like you said, law enforcement guys. There's people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Watching the show, listening to the show. It was great feedback for me because they listen to the show a lot of times while they're doing other things, whether it's shift, working out, whatever it is. They listen to the show a lot of times after the fact. And I was like, well, is that a problem? And they're like, no, the show is good. We want to hear. Sometimes it's fun to listen after because we hear whether you're right or wrong, but we hear the case being made, already knowing the results.
Right.
I said, fair. That's awesome. As far as like what you're coming to town for, it doesn't matter. And
right. Yeah. It doesn't
I
matter
mean,
at all.
particularly, I don't really need to know if you're having title shots or, you're here for work, conventions, speakers, all of the above. Carve out some time that works for you. And me and Perrault were especially good mobile at night.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have Maddie and I can, make sure the kids and the wife are spoken for. Not that I'm saying they're okay with like me and you going out at night, but like it's okay if I'm saying I'm meeting Perrault and some brigade people and my daughters are like, are you serious? There's people that would actually want to come to town and talk to the both of you. Like, don't they listen to the show? Don't they get enough of you? I'm like, yeah, but we get to hear their stories.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part of all this.
Look, I don't know what it is about this show. And we talked about it with the guys with Dave and Ryan last night. They both had their own personal stuff. I won't air it on the show, but they both said to us, look and Ryan said this to me. He said, for 2 hours a day, I knew I was going to laugh. I wasn't laughing. I wasn't laughing. I wasn't enjoying myself every other hour. And I told him the story of me doing the show as I was going through my divorce. And I was like, it was the same thing for me. And he was going through stuff. And he was like, just hearing you kind of say what you had been going through and then us replaying the shows all previously before you in October came out and said, this is what happened for the last year. And we all were like, whoa. And it reminded all of them about having to go to work in the middle of what was happening. I mean, they work in law enforcement, so they can't exactly bring their feelings with them. They got to be on point. They got to be, on and make sure that they're on when they're doing their shift and taking care of whoever they're taking care of. So it's a great reminder. It's a great thing for us because we get to learn about you guys, but it also understands that like we all are getting something from this. We're not talking really at you guys as much as we're all kind of enjoying ourselves for a couple of hours each day.
Absolutely. It's there's
fun.
No talking at, it's talking with.
Right.
And listening to each other. I mean, if you get the show, you really get the show.
Yeah.
And getting together, that's going to be the goal kind of for the fall of 2023. I think we're going to try to figure something out. And then going forward in 2024, I think we'll try to do these things. We talked a lot yesterday with a gentleman who opened up both of our eyes to a bunch of different things. It's great. And you guys can reach us here-ish every day we do the show. You get in the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That's great. Do it on the audio podcast, wherever you get podcasts, you'll hear the show. But you can reach out to us. My DMs are closed, but if you text me or tweet at me, and don't come at me like these bots. Though. Like we've been talking about some things very risque this week, and
in
now
bonus
they're all
time.
following me.
Only in bonus time.
Only in bonus time.
To be fair. Although, no, actually, baseball was not in bonus time yesterday, but it was all the innuendos that were going on.
The baseball was right in the middle of the rundown.
That's
You're
right.
I mean, but listen, that was good stuff. I mean, I didn't mean to make you laugh.
No, it's
When you
phenomenal.
laugh,
I mean,
the
if I'm
timing was
laughing, the
just-
audience is laughing. That's the key. That's the magic of what goes on. And it's if I think it's funny, chances are they think it's funny. So it all works out perfectly. And then Mikey also makes memes that make me die laughing. And then he posts them inside of our Discord channel. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, I was rolling last night. I showed Mikey, I showed Dave your curtains, as we'll call it.
He sent it to me. I saw it. It was just gotta be careful. Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
It was stars. It was
phenomenal. It was so funny. It only exists in the Discord channel, bvbshow.com, if you guys want to be a part of it. Right. And I think one of the most entertaining things about when we talk to you guys and when we interact and when we see you guys either via DM or in person or doing a Twitter Spaces or whatever, we get to kind of talk to you guys, is we hear it from you, and then we hear it from people in the know who are in the industry that literally flies in the face of so many of the suits, we'll call them, for people who say to us about what the show is and is not.
Yes.
And people out themselves all the time about whether or not they actually understand what this show is and will be. And so many of you understand what the show will be and where we're going, and you want to be on the ride. You want to be a part of this because you're like, know what? This is fun. We want to be here and be a part of this. We want to be a part of the brigade. And it's open to anyone who wants to be a part of it. It's just remarkable the number of people who don't want it to take off, who don't want it to happen for whatever reason, and will be impediments on purpose.
Impediments?
Yes.
We're really ramping up the vocabulary on this show. The last couple of days has been unbelievable. I'm very, very impressed with the word impediments because it's politely describing roadblocks.
Correct.
Big ass boulders that are blocking the way. And do you remember when they moved that big rock for Tiger at the Phoenix Open back in the day when they said, oh, this is a natural thing. We can move this, whatever. Hold on. We're doing the show.
Right.
Get on the road, listen, watch, be a part of it, or always forward, never straight. We'll turn left, we'll turn right. We're going to keep going.
Yep, and we will.
Impediments be damned.
I agree. So let's talk about last night. The Boston Celtics did exactly what I thought they were going to do.
Good call. Collapsed. Good call, Perrault. You said, I agreed with the +8, but you said, I think they could lose this game.
Mm-hmm. And they did. And it was a Jimmy Butler game.
Oh.
I don't know what Jason Tatum needs to do to be more consistent, but
oh boy,
he's so inconsistent. He had 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter. He had 2 travels. He wasn't touching the basketball nearly as much as he should have. And you saw it, the difference between Spoelstra and Mazzulla down the stretch. Boston is not good in tight games, and Miami thrives on it. Boston better win games. And look, the numbers are all there. It's 16 straight ATS performances when game 1 at home is lost by the home team.
Yeah.
Game 2, it's 16-0 ATS. So I do expect Boston to kill Miami in game number 2.
That's what you said last night, too.
Yep. I said it yesterday before the game. I said Boston will lose game 1. They'll kill them in game 2. I think the series goes very similarly to how the Philadelphia series goes. Boston won't play their best basketball until they're on the brink of elimination. It's just the way this team is wired. For whatever reason, they do not have it in them to be front runners. They've got to be playing from behind with everyone saying they suck. And then Tatum goes for 51 points and everyone's like, oh, okay. It's a frustration from a Boston perspective, to say the least.
This is a little bit of a problem, is it not? Because I feel like you're playing
with fire,
with the grown-ups now, with fire, with the heat, with Jimmy.
Yeah.
Spoelstra.
That's the problem. Spoelstra's the problem.
You can't get down over and over and over and come back. This isn't the Sixers. This isn't a combustible, team that was just ready to blow up. And or you always hear this expression in the book and even on, a lot of content-based shows, they folded like a cheap suit. The Heat aren't folding like a cheap suit. They're going to be around.
That's why that plus 2.5 bet for the Heat. It was like, okay, nice. Thank you. Nice. Yeah. It was just like, wait a minute, what are we watching here? And it kind of goes right back into the next conversation about the totals, not just in the NBA, but in hockey. what is going on with the books in terms of totals? They were way off with the Lakers and the Nuggets. They were way off with the Heat and the Celtics last night. What is going on?
Perrault, there's a lot of BMs, which is code for bookmakers, that are asking the same question today. I got a call from a guy this morning. Wasn't you, Les, but I appreciate you being here and watching the show. It was from someone else that said, are they kidding with these totals? What are they doing with the totals? The one yesterday, everybody had it. Rhombuses, parallelograms, bag guys, squares, circles, isosceles triangles. They all had it yesterday. The line went from 210 to 213 on the day of the game. Tells you the number's wrong. Number's wrong. And, I mean, the adjustment is what? Game 2, Friday. Miami, Boston. Oh, 216. Oh, okay. Now we got to find the top and work backwards. The hockey, I can't explain. We did the show. We've done the show. We've talked about hockey as much or more than a lot of people do. I love it. You learn to love it, betting it. You've been good at it. Had a nice season.
Yeah.
The playoffs. They just won't move the number. I
mean, why?
I don't know.
We'll get to it later, but the total being 5.5 tonight is like, what?
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't
I mean,
know.
like, you keep on putting these numbers up in front of people, and like even the Boston Celtics Heat game in game 2, it's like, wait, what? Tonight, I'm going to kind of contradict myself a little bit tonight because I actually think the game goes under tonight, but with the Lakers and the Nuggets. But I don't fully understand when people are looking at the game and the bookmakers are looking at the numbers and the models are spitting these numbers out consistently wrong, and nobody's raising their hands going like, hey, have we been even close recently? Like, we're getting beat like consistently, but you got game 7 right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Like that is that it feels like that's the justification after 6 games in the series go over, game 7 goes under, and they're like, see, told you. Like the Stars went under.
That's the number.
Because you got it once. Great.
That's the number. Aha. Aha. Yeah. I don't know.
Job. Good job, guys.
Sometimes they like to do it with both hands.
Yeah.
Like this,
like, way to go, guys. Tap yourself on the back.
That thing when you were a kid,
great.
when you used to do that and then turn around and it looked like you were.
Oh, good. What are you doing? Yes, making out.
You remember when it did that when you were a kid?
Uh-huh.
Tyler's in the chat.
Hi, Tyler.
Tyler's got models. People got models. People got Hobby Lobby got models too. Numbers wrong and numbers wrong. I don't know.
Eyes and pace of play and the way the team's talking. I mean, it's like everybody knew that the Nuggets were going to run because Michael Malone said it. He said, we're not interested in playing against that half-court defense for the Lakers. We're going to run as much as possible.
I love it that he told everybody. He said, we're going to come out and run. Oh, wait, is he playing us? Is he telling us? No, we're going to come out and run.
Yeah.
And we did.
And it made sense.
But now, I mean,
the adjustment tonight will be the Lakers won't let them do it. Tonight, the Lakers are going to take the air out of the ball.
Are they?
I think they're going to.
They're changing everything that they do, and they're taking.
They don't play up tempo. Lakers generally want to play a more methodical game. I mean, defensively, they want to play more methodical. Offensively, when you get live ball turnovers and long misses, that allows for runouts. And I think they're going to slow it down tonight, play it through Anthony Davis. I mean, it was the first time all year that Davis scored 40 points and they lost. So I think they know they can't play that way. Like they can't compete with the Nuggets if they got to go slow, take the air out, bleed the clock, play your game. That's how I think tonight.
Your game. I love that.
So
line's coming down.
Total or the line?
The line is coming down.
Yeah.
Sideways.
We'll get to that. I'm on both. Okay. I'm on dog and under, but we'll get to both. So explain this to me. We talked about this a little bit with our friends from Indiana last night, but the Boston Celtics lost game 1, and they are now bigger favorites in game 2 than they were in game 1.
Zigzag and 16-0. You said it. Everybody knows it.
The Nuggets won game 1.
Right.
As 6.5 point closing favorites. And they're now.
It fell 6, though.
It fell 6, but they're now smaller favorites than they were.
Betting the Lakers.
In game 1.
They're betting the Lakers.
What is? It
They're
doesn't
betting
make
the
any.
Lakers.
I mean, we're just assuming it's 1-1 in both series. That's what everyone's saying.
I mean, the book's just trying to get ahead of it and try to figure out where we got to get to the number and sit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just want to get to the number. You're not trying to handicap it. You're not trying to spread out the numbers. You're just trying to get to the number and let the people bet. So the starting points got to be a certain thing.
But it was 9 and then 10.5 last night, and now it's back to 9. What do you make of that? Why was it 10.5 on the East Coast? Why was it 10.5?
We'll have to ask some people behind the curtains if you
don't
want to really know. That's a very strange number. Very, very strange.
I mean, like, does anyone think that Boston?
You showed it to me on the phone because I didn't believe you. I'm like, nobody's at 10.5 right now. And you're like, look. And I went, just like that. I was like, wow, it's 10.5. It didn't last.
No.
I mean, it's just, but sometimes we see things in the book that just feel like a mirage and aren't. And certain people
10.5. I would
don't.
have loved to have seen 10.5 here in Vegas, but that's why it wasn't here in Vegas, because people would have jumped on it and hammered it.
Right.
I mean, even if Boston wins, I can't see Boston winning by 12 or 15 points. I mean, maybe, I guess, but like, that's so heavy for a playoff game involving Jimmy Butler. Like, I just don't see them getting killed consistently. I think Boston wins game 2. I think they win game 3. They lose game 4, and then it turns into a best of 3 for 5, 6, 7. Series goes 7.
Series goes 7?
Yeah, I thought going in. I was like, Boston's not winning this thing 4-1. I don't think they win it 4-2.
You're odd shirt today. Looks good, by the way.
Thank
coordinated. You're starting to really coordinate the outfits very nicely. I like what you did there today. But there was a tweet on Oddshark. Did you see it? It was an NBA communications letterhead with the script for the rest of the playoffs. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh,
it's fake, but okay.
It's fake?
Yes, it's fake.
Because it just described exactly what you said was going to happen in the Eastern Conference.
It makes sense. I mean, it's not like I'm.
Did you read the script?
No, I'm not being like Madame
You
Cleo.
got a copy of the script?
No, I'm not being like a prognosticator in Notre Dame on this. I think it's very easy to see that this series is going to come down to a game 7 because Boston cannot avoid a game 7. It's just what they do. I mean, Boston right now, I said it yesterday, they only play when they have somebody pitting them up against the wall and taking their lunch money. Then they fight.
I don't like that. I don't like that picture that creates. Because I remember that as a kid. I never took anyone's lunch money, and I was always trying to help the kid that they would try to pick on. But I don't like that.
But they did. How much was lunch for you?
But why do they need that? Why do they need
How much
that?
was lunch for you when you were in elementary school? Do you remember?
I never once bought it unless it
ever.
was pizza.
Wow.
No, my mother packed a lunch. I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for, I think it felt like 25
every
years.
day.
Every day. Every single day was the same thing. It was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Maybe some string cheese once in a while. A piece of fruit, most ideally an orange. And
I always mix up Madeline, whatever she's got. I always mix it around. But she doesn't. She doesn't
remember
buy
Munchos?
Either. Munchos? No, I do not. Mine was $1.50. And the reason why I ask is because the 50 cents always fell out of the kid's hands. Whenever the kid was getting picked on, it was always, you always heard the sound of the change hitting the ground. Like you'd have it in his hands, and then they knock it out of his hands, or like
this was elementary school. Was $1.50?
I believe so. Yeah,
that's expensive for back then.
Not really. I mean, it was the late 80s.
I don't know.
It's like 86, 78.
75 cents was pizza day at the elementary school. Pizza Joe I called him Pizza Joe. Man, he brought in that square pizza. Boy, that was good.
No, square pizza was awful. That was the cardboard stuff.
Square pizza was good.
When you were
so
bad.
Fifth grade, that was a big treat on Fridays.
Because pizza was any pizza, but it still wasn't very good pizza though. It's cardboard.
Pizza Joe, come on.
It was all like, man, those school lunches were brutal. They were just absolutely brutal.
Well, I don't know about Madeline, but Kendall's figured out that she'll take anything from the house rather than the school lunch.
Oh yeah, Maddie won't. Yeah. Hot lunch, she calls it. They call it hot lunch, and she has never had hot lunch, and she barely eats her own lunch. Our new fight with her right now is the fact that she gets they have 20 minutes for lunch, right?
Why is it so fast? They don't
I don't
even
know.
let these kids sit down and eat. I used to go and sit with the kids, like when I was off, just to, sit and have lunch with my kids. They would let the parents come in.
Nice.
It's like an assembly line. They
Yeah.
run them in, sit down, eat really fast, and then boom, get your butts outside. What is going on?
And Madeline doesn't eat; she talks. That's her socializing time. She
your
goes.
daughter.
She
That's
says
your
to me,
daughter.
she's like, I have to make the rounds. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I don't eat. I go and talk. It's like, Maddie, then you come out of school and you're starving. She's like, I know, but I gotta go catch up with my friends. I gotta see what's going on. It was like, this can't wait. She's like, no, it can't wait. I have to go talk.
No,
It was like, so she like devours her lunch now on the way home from school. And I'm like, Maddie, eat your lunch when you're supposed to. She's like, I'd rather talk. Oh God,
this
what
is
did I
a
do?
problem. Rich Mon, I saw Rich Mon in the chat. He said his kid refuses to eat school lunch.
Yeah.
A lot of kids refuse to eat school lunch. It's brutal.
It's tough. Yeah.
What was your favorite snack though? Like you said, what was it? Fritos?
No, my favorite snack?
When you had if you had like a bag of, because do you got the mini bags of like the Ruffles and the Cheetos and all
we
the stuff?
we
Like,
had
what
that
did
for a
you
while.
get?
I used to go to
Right.
Costco and have all of that. And
Yeah,
then bento boxes have kind of changed everything.
Oh.
So it's all segmented. So she has
Huh.
different segments. So it's one like lunchbox, all different segments of stuff. So you fill each up with different things. So like she has healthy snack, they call it, where you can either bring fruits or vegetables.
Right.
And that's all the school's like, don't bring anything else, fruits or vegetables only. So like she always takes either strawberries or a full cucumber to school. And then she loves Cheez-Its, Ruffles, Goldfish, and we put in a vegetable of some sort. So I rotate it all through. Her new thing is she's into prosciutto like crazily. She absolutely loves prosciutto. So she doesn't like sandwiches.
This kid's getting very bougie very quickly.
Oh, she's real bougie. Madeline's real bougie.
She getting bougie.
Oh,
fast.
she's always bougie. Yeah. She likes, she eats sushi with me. Like she eats salmon with me.
She's going to be very high maintenance.
Oh yes, without a doubt. She's my daughter. Of course she's gonna be very high maintenance. But it's funny because like she won't eat a sandwich. She likes it deconstructed. She wants the bread and the meat. Doesn't want to put together.
Why is this? Why do these kids do this? I mean, I'm watching it now. I see the crust come off first, and then you open it this way, and like, what are you doing? I'm eating. You're not.
No,
you're not. That's not eating.
Right.
You're creating art, and then you're eating your art. What are you doing? But I get looked at like I don't know what I'm talking about. We got a great question from the chat that I wanted to just bring up right now. TP, are you with me?
Okay.
Question mark. Just said, Dave, we want this show to take off. What is holding it back from breaking new viewership levels? Wow, that's a really good question you hit me with right now, TR. And I don't know right now, but I would like to.
We've got a lot of things that we're trying to accomplish where having it take off might not be as needed as necessary. That we may have been thinking about this the wrong way. And we're starting to get coached into the idea that we maybe need to think about things a bit differently, because I come from a broadcasting standard where basically everyone's going to ask you, well, how many people do you have watching? Well, we might
that phone call this
we might be asking the wrong question. We might be, instead of worrying about that, we may just want to have you guys and not worry about that question ever again.
Right.
So we're trying to figure some things out, but we appreciate it. The best thing is the like, subscribe, and tell 2 people about the show. That's the best thing to help. Those are the 2 things you can do.
Okay.
Send the show to 2 buddies, send the links to 2 friends, brothers, sisters, moms, whoever, and just say, hey, this show is interesting. Ever thought about it? Take the audio. Sometimes people would easier listen to the show, and then I know people listen first and then come to the live show after.
True.
Because it's just easier. I mean,
some guy, Marchetti, if you're listening or watching, he said the way you talked about me, he thought I looked like McLovin.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Was weird. I was like, what do you mean? That's odd.
What in the hell?
But when have I ever
made
described
a guy
you?
think that I look like McLovin?
But when would I was trying to think, like, when have I ever described you? Like,
I don't know
ever
what
described
you say
you.
sometimes on that juice thing that you
No.
do, but like, I was like, How did he come up with McLovin?
I think
I know McLovin.
I think it's because the school. I think people, when I call you the school of Sharapan, when I say I've gone to the school of Sharapan for the last 5 years, I think they get an idea of like like you're a professor, like you look like a person that would be like pocket protector, glasses, come in, and like I'm learning from a teacher. I don't think that they really conceptualize what I mean by that when I say I've been going to the school of Sharapan. So I think that's why.
I'm going to make a line right now. I'm
On.
going to ask you, do you think ever in my 52 years on this planet Earth that I have ever had a pocket protector in a pocket?
No. I don't think those things even exist anymore. Like, I don't think they ever, because
you think there's kids watching the show right now that don't even know what we're talking about?
They don't, because pens don't exist anymore. Like, who uses pens? No one uses pens.
I got pens all over.
They don't. People don't write. People don't use a writing utensil.
What?
I mean,
when did this happen?
They don't. It's amazing. Like,
what?
Madeline's penmanship is so bad, and I'm so not concerned about it because we're not going to have to worry about it. No one's going to write anything anymore. It's all going to be digitized. Or we're going to be. This is it. You're just going to write with your finger.
How about that?
That's what's happening.
What do you have to write?
No, you don't. You don't.
I write.
When you communicate with people, how do you communicate?
I write notes all over the place.
Well, you're a rarity because most people do not. It's in a phone, it's in a text, it's in an email, it's in a tweet.
Everything's changing.
It's people. This is not going to be a thing. Like, we're not going to need this. Like, it's going to be all digital.
I got pins all over this joint.
Great.
All over.
Okay, it's great.
Write stuff down all the time.
Good. You're going to be a rarity. You're a dinosaur in the world right now. It's not happening. People aren't doing anything. Communication is all going to be done through a digital typing and writing and talk to text. Madeline,
when I send somebody something,
yes,
I handwrite the note.
And there's something special for that. I agree with that. That's a special thing. But if you're going to write just a general thing to somebody, you aren't writing it down. The only time we're writing things down really is when you're signing for something. You're signing your name at a bank.
Now they got that DocuSign thing. You don't even do that.
I sign DocuSigns every single week for the cars. For the cars I get delivered. I don't ever sign. It's all, they have my signature in there.
Your microphone shuffle timing
is good.
So comedic timing.
It is
even
good.
My buddy Keith Frederick, he said when he watched the clip of the curtain, when you went,
yeah,
it was the timing is so good,
and they fixed it up nicely. So it added to the
perfect
mic drop of, because somebody thought I dropped the mic, literally, like I dropped my mic. I didn't drop my mic. I dropped my hand, which smacked next to the mic, which sounded like a mic drop. So it worked.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
I can't believe that nobody writes anything anymore. That's actually discouraging.
Think about it. Madeline texts. She can't text. Like, her iPad is only on Wi-Fi, but she can, if you have an iMessage, if you have an iPhone, she can text me from her iPad.
Of course.
And she does it with her voice. She says, "Hey, Daddy, it's Madeline." Blah blah blah. She talks and it sends, and then hits send.
Oh no!
She doesn't even type it out.
No.
It's talk to text.
Oh no!
So that's. I mean, not only are we going to.
I'm unable to do that because the damn thing makes up words like it sounds like I'm saying something.
Of course. But that's going to be, we're going to have Amazon wired phones, Amazon wired houses, where you're just going to say, "Hey, Alexa," whatever. Sorry if some of you are listening on the speaker, but you'd say like, "Hey, whatever," or "Hey, Siri," or whoever. And then you'd go ahead and just have the text or have the email or have whatever be sent out. I mean, it's wonky. Like how close we are to being
use of wonky. I like it.
In a environment in which you don't really have to leave the house. I can order everything I have purchased at Whole Foods. I can order by just telling Alexa to do it. I can say, reorder everything I just bought, have it be delivered. And it'll say this, it'll say confirm, you hit confirm, and 2 hours later, everything I just bought at Whole Foods previously shows up on my front door. I never have to leave my house.
I like to get out and see the people, see the sunshine, and talk to people and stuff. I'm going to the bank today after the show.
Okay.
To deposit a check.
Okay.
My wife is like, "What are you doing?
Why aren't
you
you
can
doing it
do that on
mobily?
your phone."
Yeah. Why aren't you doing it on your phone?
I want to go and just go to the bank. I got something to do this afternoon. I'm going to the bank.
But you can just do it right now. You can do it on your phone.
I don't want to.
What's the, why? What's
Because
the
I want to see people. I want
Why?
to get in the car. I want to drive. It's 1.5 miles.
Okay.
I want the bank tellers.
That's
So
fine.
maybe they'll give me maybe the best thing about today. We'll be running into somebody at the bank. I don't know. But I'm going to the bank today.
Right,
Nobody
fine.
does that anymore. They keep telling me, you don't have to do that. Why would you do that?
You don't
Waste
have to
your
do that.
time. I don't
You
know.
don't have to do that.
All right.
So the Padres got more bad news. Machado has a fracture in his hand. Got hit with an
Switch to the
off-speed pitch.
baseball.
Switch to the baseball.
That was a transition to the baseball.
Yeah.
We saw this last night. That looked bad, Perrault.
The Padres currently enter play today with a 20-24 record, 8 games behind the Dodgers in the National League West. They are 11-13 at home. They're 9-11 on the road. They have a -8 run differential, and they're 2-8 over their last 10 games.
Not good.
This was one of the odds-on favorites to win the whole darn thing.
People love the signings and the flash and the dash and stuff, and then they forget baseball is a grind. 162. You gotta, I mean, it's up, down, it's grind, it's get hit, it's hurt, it's all this other stuff. This is not good. This is gonna hurt the lineup.
I mean,
playing
Tatis
with him.
back.
I mean, it's down now.
Right. Tatis comes back, and now you lose Machado. They're in trouble. Diamondbacks are not going anywhere. The Dodgers are going to be near the top of the division all year long. This is bad for the Padres.
So from a betting perspective, are you looking to jump on other NL West teams like
the Diamondbacks
to make
I
the
like the
playoffs or to, I mean, obviously they're a fade in these situations that, we're going to get to the A stuff. I think that'll be a fun segment. We'll just bang that out. But the Padres over the next month, if he's out 30 days, I mean, they go 500
right
in that 30 days. They still have a losing record. And now we're at Flag Day.
Well,
in June.
They're 2.5 games out of the third wild card spot right now at the start of play tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they got work to do, but they're not out of it by any means. The Marlins are a playoff team. How about the 3 playoff teams right now, wild card wise? Diamondbacks, Pirates, Marlins.
Why did you say Pirates like that? Like it's so shocking. They're
It
right
is shocking.
there.
All 3 of those teams are shocking. I have an over 75.5 win total bet on the Marlins, so I love that. Marlins already have 22 wins, which is great.
That's good.
Your ticket on the Pirates, they've got 23 wins. That's great.
That's a good start.
You're at 66, right?
66.
Yeah, I'm at 75. So I got 9 more. I got 9 more wins than you're gonna get.
More importantly, I got that head-to-head bet with Iggy at the Alma Cafe. I have Pirates. He has Cubs, and I have +10.
The Cubs are
76.
Oh gosh, Cubs have 19 wins. You have
Hell yeah.
+10.
Chicago. What's
Wow,
wrong with that?
You got a 4-game lead. So you're up by 14 games at the moment.
Don't remind me. I love it. Every time I walk
games.
in, I go in and pirate stuff or whatever. I say, hey, how the Cubs doing? He goes, oh, sit down at the counter.
Be quiet.
That's fine.
Why do D-back pitchers kill birds by accident?
Damn, bro.
This story is crazy. The mathematical
odds. A breaking ball, too.
Right. Hit a breaking ball. First, it was do you remember when Randy Johnson did it in a game?
I was watching it live.
Were you really?
I was like, oh my God, what did he just do? I remember I was like, I think he killed a bird. And then cut away.
He did kill a bird. Then he turned into a ball of dust.
He obliterated
the
bird. The feathers went everywhere. I'm not making fun of it. You people with the pets and all this stuff don't come at us.
It's a bird.
It was a bird.
Flew in the wrong spot at the wrong time by 95 mile per hour fastball.
Birds are animals too.
Yeah. Well, they're animals, but still, I mean, it's like, give me a break. Don't fly. I mean, it's no fly zone, man. Smack by. But Zach Gallen hit it with a breaking ball.
Killed
the bird.
So it wasn't like it wasn't at home. It wasn't like an Arizona thing. It's completely coincidental.
You know, Zach Gallen was 5 years old when Randy Johnson did that to the bird to feel, if you want to feel old, he was 5 when Randy Johnson did it.
I mean, Now I feel old. Thank you
Right.
for that. I appreciate that. Because
He goes, I don't
the
remember
day
as a
happened.
kid, but I've seen the clips many times, he said after the game.
Oh man. Yeah, I remember it. I don't know. How do you what's the sound of that?
Oh boy. With a breaking ball, I don't know. With the fastball, I would have loved to have heard it. It was pre HDTV. It was pre really good mics. It was just all of us watching it. I remember seeing it on SportsCenter. It's like, he did what? Randy Johnson did what? How did that happen? Like, what are the odds of that? How is that even possible? Randy Johnson's reaction was awesome too. He like threw it and then you saw the bird and he like recoiled. He was like, what just happened? When it goes boosh and it popped.
It's no good.
Uh-uh.
Have you ever had a bird fly into the windshield?
Of course. Yeah. It's scary, actually.
It's a little bit alarming, right?
Yeah.
It don't sound good.
The
A
worst thing that ever happened to me was I hit a bird and it was stuck in my grill of my car.
Come on.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was mangled. It was alive. It was awful. That was the worst. In Alabama, driving from Huntsville to Birmingham.
Were you alone?
Oh, yeah. It sucked. Pulled over the side of the road, saw it. I didn't know what the hell to do. It died. Like,
This was young Perrault.
This is me in my 20s. Yeah. Didn't know what the hell to do. I was like, what do I, and then it died while I was trying to figure out what the hell to do. It died, but it was alive for a while, like mangled in my grill.
Speaking of young Perrault, I just remembered this right now. I meant to ask you about this like for days.
Okay.
You tweeted that tweet about show a picture of yourself when you're 19.
Oh yeah.
And my friend Tim put up the picture of me and him in the Adidas,
Yeah.
which I'll get to in a second. But your picture,
uh-huh.
What the hell was that hair?
Oh yeah. Me at 19.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't even see your face because of the flap.
Oh yeah. I had long hair. I tied my hair in the back. Oh yeah. I went through a whole phase. That was my Brit Invasion phase. The Oasis stuff. That was my brother's. That was Ben's graduation party. That picture was taken. I was in college.
Really?
Yeah, that was me as a 19-year-old in college. That was my freshman year.
All this stuff is all starting to, as we do the show more and learn a little bit more about each other. And this explains a lot.
Together.
I saw that picture and I was
sense.
like, what the, I almost did what the,
right.
GIF. Like, what is that hair?
Everyone said that. Like, what happened? I was like, what? That was my hair. Like, can you recreate that? I'm like, no, I don't have hair to recreate it.
No. I ain't never growing like that again, no matter what. Just for the record, it ain't ever grown.
I'm 46. It ain't happening.
No.
But at 19, that was my look. The cargo shorts and the Brit shirt, whatever the Brit shirt was. Okay, it was an Oasis soccer shirt that I was wearing. It was that was my favorite shirt at the time. I loved that shirt, and that was my high school girlfriend that was next to me.
Oh,
in that picture, and that was
what was her name?
Nicole.
Okay.
And that was the my brother's graduation party when he was graduating high school because he graduated early. So he was 2 years behind me, but he came out early that summer. He came out early. So
okay.
That was that party. I remember I can like the day, everything. I remember everything about that. And it's just funny that picture exists. And so I was like, all right, I'll tweet that out. And then someone was like, that's not you. That wasn't you. I was like,
oh,
yeah,
that was me. Definitely was you. I saw your face, but I could barely see your face because you had the flap over your face. It was curl, like it had the wigged out curl.
No, it was the center part. It was a center part.
But it was a flip.
Yes,
it was a flip thing.
It was the style. You shave underneath have it shaved underneath, and the hair flies down over the top, and then you tie it in the back. And I told you I was very much into my musical time. That was when I was going to be a musical person. I was going to be in the music industry.
Oh,
that was the whole game plan at that time. And then everything changed when I realized I didn't want to do that. When I interned, they said, this is not what you want to be doing the rest of your life. You're going to lose a job real fast. I was like, oh, okay, let's go do sports. And so we cleaned it up. We got the hair cut nice and we looked all good.
Gotcha.
And away we went. Yes, but yes, that was a very good picture. For those of you who are golf fans, somebody asked me in the DM, said, why did you and Dave not talk about the PGA? I mean, I don't know how you feel about this tournament being in May, but I'm still getting used to it. The PGA being in May, they had a frost warning this morning. They had a frost delay to this thing this morning in upstate New York. I have decided, I don't know if it's rightly or wrongly, but you've influenced me a lot on this, is that like I've looked at what I'm really bad at, and like for the Daily Juice, I am up in like almost everything except the UFC. Like I'm down 5 units in the UFC.
Right.
And I'm up on everything else. Golf was like that for a long time. I was really bad at golf last year.
Yeah.
And so my interest in betting in golf is just sort of like, I'm not good at it. What am I doing? Like, just watch it. I like watching it. I don't have to bet it. I'm not good at it.
I mean, there's so many people talking about it like now in the golf content space, and there's guys I respect. I mean, between, I did Dubsy was on with Gabe and Cam and I, and Steve Hennessy from Golf Digest was on.
Nice. I mean, there's money to be made. I'm not saying there's not.
Yeah, I mean,
for me, I'm just not. I don't watch it enough. I don't live it. You got to live it to really bet golf. It's like baseball.
I just think we're so deeply engrossed in the other stuff that
Agreed.
Being unable to get that deeply engrossed in the golf is an easy solution. We don't have to really worry about it. Like there might be some in-game opportunities after a round or during a round.
After the cut is basically when I'm going to think about
I much prefer that when I really take the time and watch or talk to certain people. Brady Cannon is another one. There's a couple golf guys. Jeff Dawson's pretty good at the golf. He's doing some golf stuff today. That's when I'd rather dive in, when there's so much randomness.
Yeah.
And this, when you throw in the possibility of goofy weather,
right. Yeah. It's not great. Scotty Scheffler is currently tied for the lead. He is done for the day, 3 under par. Corey Connors, 3 under par. Bryson DeChambeau, 3 under par. Keegan Bradley and Bryson DeChambeau are both playing together, and they're both still on the course.
Yeah, through 14.
This dude, this random guy who I never heard of before, but the PGA Championship is known for this because the guys who get into the field aren't that used to. I mean, Ryan Fox from Australia, never heard of him, but he is at 2 under par. Okay. So is Hovland. Justin Suh is a guy I'd never heard of, but he's tied for 5th as well. So that's your top 5 so far here. So it's going to be one thing I like about this golf course, about Oak Hill and the weather. It's really a hard golf course, and it's got US Open type of rough. So
there was a great bet on FanDuel yesterday.
Yeah.
Is it -8 or worse, or -9 or better? The price for -8 or worse at the time for the winning score was -150, and -9 or better was +122, which again, the split stinks. Yeah. It's not, it should be much more plus with the juice. If you're doing a -150, +130 is fair. +122 is not really, but you think this is high scoring, or like, does the winner put up a double digits, -10?
If the weather goes even a little bit south, under 8's going to come in.
8 or under.
Yeah, 8 or under.
Or 8 or less. -8, -7,
-8 or less.
6, 5. Right.
If it's like today, I would say 10 probably is the winning score. But it's New York. It's upstate New York. You could get any wind whatsoever, and that golf course is going to be an absolute bear to deal with.
I mean, they got the par 5s are 634 and 612.
Narrow with huge rough problems.
There's 2 par 3s that are 245 and 234 or something. Like, it's long.
Yeah.
7,300 plus yards with par 70. Like Dubsy kept talking about, it's not usually a major with a par 70.
Yeah, it's just because Oak Hill is such an old school course. This is the fourth time, I believe, it's hosted the PGA. But Oak Hill has hosted the Ryder Cup. It's hosted US Opens. Like, they just redid the whole course in 2019 and added 3 new holes. So no one's played a major golf championship yet on this exact course. So we don't know exactly what the score is going to be. But when we're dealing with cold temperatures, I don't know about you, but I hate golfing in the cold. I hate doing anything in the cold, but I hate golfing in the cold.
I had to learn how to play the game after like when I was home from college and working, and I played on Mondays and Tuesdays, and whether the weather was whatever it was, we were playing on Monday or Tuesday. So I had to learn how to play and all that stuff. I had to learn how to play with the big jackets and the hat, the beanies and all that stuff. I didn't like it, but I learned how to do it. I was a pretty good mudder at the time.
Rain is fine. I can play in the rain.
Yeah, I hated the rain.
I hate the rain, but I can play in it. I don't like it, but I can play in it.
Mm-mm.
Cold, the golf course is not set up to be cold. Like when the ground is crispy, when you're walking and you hear crunch, crunch. That's you're putting. It's so much more difficult to putt on a green that's frozen or it's got frost on it. It sucks. Really not fun at all. So
When's the last time you went to a golf tournament?
Oh my gosh.
Like you just went to a course and
watched
the day of golf or attended a golf tournament. When's the last time you did it?
I went to the Shriners here. Like
Okay,
the second year I moved here, like in 2017, I think.
Okay.
Was the last time?
All right.
It's been a while. It's been like 6 years since I've seen professional golf in person.
Okay. I think we got to put it on the docket.
Oh, no. I'm going this year because it's a FedEx Cup event this fall. They moved it now. It matters. We'll have a whole star-studded field here.
Yeah.
Golf here has always been the silly season. And then they realized maybe we want to take advantage of Vegas. Let's actually give Vegas something that actually could be fun.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing that's here. I mean, the NBA made an announcement today about a thing happening this summer, but like the amount of
we'll get to that. I saw it on the rundown.
The amount of sporting events happening in 2023-24 is just stupid in this city. It's just,
and by the way, if the Knights win, they're going to be hosting the Stanley Cup Finals.
Stanley Cup Finals could be here. The WNBA All-Star Game is here.
Yep.
The WNBA Finals could be here. And it could be New York against Vegas.
They're the favorite.
Two super teams playing each other. That could be here. The we know F1's race will be here in November, and then we'll have the Super Bowl here in February.
Just a couple things.
Just a couple
Might be
things
a little
going
bit busy.
All right, so we talked about this yesterday. The A's are about to enter into a stretch tomorrow.
Yes.
That is insane for a team with 10 wins. So we said we'd go through this to find out how many wins on the 16th of June when they play the Philadelphia Phillies. How many wins do we think the A's are going to have? Okay. They play 3 games at Houston starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
0 still. They get swept.
They play 4 games at Seattle.
1.
So they have 1. They're 1 in 6 to start this run.
Yep.
They play 3 games at home against Houston.
1. They'll win 1 there.
You think they'll win 1? All right.
I'll give them 1.
All right. There's 2.
That's 2 wins.
They play 3 against Atlanta at home.
At home?
Yep.
Atlanta's good. I'll give them 1.
So now I have 3 wins at the end of May.
3.
First series in June is at Miami. 3 games. I'll give them 1.
All right. I'll say 1 too.
So now we're at 4 wins. 3 against Pittsburgh on the road.
Don't even say it. Don't even dare say 2. They're going to win nothing in Pittsburgh. They're going to get swept in Pittsburgh. No, they're not. They're going to win 1.
1. I agree. They'll win 1.
1. That's
so
5 wins.
At Milwaukee for 3.
Jeez.
Right? You said 10 yesterday. I said, no way.
7? Maybe they get 2 there. Okay.
No. They're not getting 2.
7.
And then they end with a 4-gamer at home against Tampa.
1. That's 8.
Under 10. So they'll have 18 wins.
10's a good number.
When we get to June 16th, they'll have 18 wins on the year. After that, they play 3 against Philly, 3 on the road to Cleveland, 3 on the road to Toronto, which is not an easy trip for them. Home for the Yankees, home for the White Sox before we get to the 4th of July. They're going to have less than 25 wins at the 4th of July.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that bad.
It's a tough schedule. They had a tough run.
That's bad. I love the chat, by the way. The chat is all welcoming in people who are coming in now.
Nice.
Again, if you come in now, please hit the like button. And I hope you're subscribing to the show so you get it on
Please.
time-ish when we start. But hi, Lisa. Everybody likes to say hi to Lisa, winning Las Vegas
Hi,
in
Lisa.
the chat, because we don't have that many female people, women watching the show, which
Right.
we could. I mean, we're trying. Dude, that's bad. That's bad.
What's the lowest win total in history? Do we know?
The Mets lost, I believe, 116 games. 62 Mets. I believe that's the most.
1899 Cleveland Spiders went 20-134, but that was when it's 154.
Okay.
So for 162, the worst record for a 162 were the Mets. The Mets went 50. Oh no. What's 114 plus 47? Yeah, it's 54. Yeah, it's 54. So yeah, the worst for 162 were the Mets. 50 wins. 50 and 112. 1965 Mets. That's in target.
That's in jeopardy. Yes or no?
Yes, 100%. That's in target for the A's.
That's in jeopardy. That's in jeopardy of being broken.
Yeah.
Legit in jeopardy of being broken. I mean, like, as someone now in the space and betting and all this other
run
stuff.
Line, run line every game.
You just lay the run line against
every
them?
game. Every game. Run line. Yep. Forget the juice, because juice is going to get 210, 220, 300. It's going to get super expensive. Friday, it's minus 120 on the run line.
Yeah, you're going to have to lay juice.
Oh, it's going to be at one point this summer. I expect to be laying like 150 juice on the run line against the A's.
At home, Houston at home with Framber against somebody or something. It'll be minus 350.
And again,
the juice on the minus 1.5 will be minus 150.
When they win,
yeah,
go even harder right afterwards. They're not going to win. I'm going to say this. I don't know if the A's win 3 games in a row this season. They might win 2. I don't think they win 3 games in a row.
Put it in the chat, boys and girls. How many wins will the A's have on what's the date? June 16th?
June 16th, yeah.
Is that Flag Day?
It might be. I don't know. It's somewhere around there, right?
June 14th. June
Somewhere
14th or June 16th. I can't remember which one, but
Sounds
it's Flag Day. So it's June 16th. How many wins right now do you guys think? Because they have 10. Right? They have 10 right now?
Right now they have 10 wins, yes.
Wow. They ain't even going to have 25. I'll say 23.
Uh-huh. Under 25. I would agree. They're going to have a really, really rough run. And as they go towards the worst record in baseball, their attendance will be basically 0. They've already set the record for the lowest attended game since 1979 this week. When they come back on these road trips and they go 1-9 or 1-7, 1-8 on these road trips, no one's going to go and show up to watch these games.
So the kids, somebody must have saw either your tweet or they saw it somewhere and they went, we were out eating and they go, Daddy, were there really only 2,000 people at the A's game?
Paid.
And she was like, they get more people at the Aviators games.
100%.
Every
Way
night.
More. Friday, on a firework Friday.
Every night they get
that.
at least 2,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Wow. We got a 21. We got a 15. We got a 17. We got a 19, a 17, 13. Holy crap. Wow.
I mean, this is where, again, I've read a couple different books. It's one of the strategies that's mentioned in Rob Meach's book about identifying the worst teams in baseball and then spending all summer betting against them.
I worked with a guy, Brooklyn Joe, and he had moved out from New York. One of the best guys I ever worked with at the counter. He decided to bet against the Phillies because they were going to be one of the best teams. So he was taking a dog price against them. He was so aggravated by August because they kept winning.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
You didn't win enough.
I don't want to fade a potential good team. I want to
You'd
fade
be
an
surprised. You got to stick with it, and you're going to lose 5 times out of 7 days every single week. Sometimes you lose all 7 days when they win or go to a 6-game winning streak or whatever.
So he's just trying to capitalize on the plus 300 price that he gets once a week. Yeah, that's not fun.
You win 3 games in a week, you're up multiple units, but it's annoying as hell. So fading the bad teams is much better than trying to fade the good teams. But the price sometimes, like the price is going to be absurd.
Well, maybe. I mean, look, these are the scores for the losses for the A's going back to, let's just take it back to the 25th of April. So for the last month, basically. 5-3, 5-2, 11-3, 5-0, 4-0, 11-3, 10-5, 7-2, 5-1, 5-3, 7-2, 2-1. There's 1, 3-2. There's 2, 11-7, 8-7. There's 3, 11-3, 5-3. They've only lost by 1 run 3 times in the last month.
It's a good sample size. We didn't even have to ask SoCal DJ to look that up.
So, I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 games. The run line's 18-3.
Don't make it complicated. Don't make it complicated, Brigade people and people listening to the show. Just
when they lose on the run line. So it's worth forget the money line price, just lay the run line price. And yes, there will be some weeks where maybe they get hot or they lose by 1 or 2, but if you stick with it, I think this is going to be a profitable way of attacking baseball this year. Is just I'm really trying to do this thing of like, I did it in hockey with hockey totals in the first period, thanks to Chris Otto's incredible information. I'm doing it again tonight, but like aim small, miss small. Try to limit the markets, try to find markets that I think that it's easier, not to beat, but just where you have more of a smaller sample to execute your betting, where you're not looking at the whole game or looking
taking
at
out the randomness. You're reducing the randomness. Actually, yesterday we did the curtain opening.
Yes.
Now you're closing. You're narrowing the focus right there. Oh.
So, and baseball, and that's hopefully a better approach than what I did last year when I was kind of spraying all over the place. And it comes back to like where I've been with MMA and where I've been with other sports that just, I haven't been good. So if I'm not being good, then like, what am I doing? Right. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? So like in hockey right now, official plays, I'm 87-78, 52.7%. I'm up 6.1 units.
Nothing wrong with that.
In the NBA, I'm 28-19 for 59.5%. I'm up 8 units.
Okay.
And I am 3-8 in combat sports, boxing and MMA, down 4.7 units.
Oh.
So like, my parlay betting, which I stopped, I'm down 2 units betting on parlaying. So I'm done betting parlays. So like that has hurt me from having a very successful overall record because I've been betting things that I'm not winning at. So now I'm trying to limit it and only bet things that I'm actually doing well with. Major League Baseball is basically flat. It's 14-14 down a unit.
And that's what it's going to be until we get more data. We get more things to show themselves. We narrow the focus a little bit better and we stay very limited in the approach. Bet against the A's.
I mean, it's going to be betting against the A's in the run line. It's like, so I've kind of coached the audience a little bit to let's say, like, look, guys, like we're going to try to win here. And it's, I was very concerned in the first iteration of hosting the Daily Juice. I was very concerned about having a bet on the PGA, having a bet on Haney versus Lomachenko, having like, whenever there was a big event, I always felt like because I was a content creator, I had to have a bet on these things.
We had this discussion so many times off the air.
And you would tell me, what are you doing? I'm a content creator. I have to create the content. And you would say, did it win? No. Well, then that's not good. You should try to win.
You have to balance it. But the hockey betting is very similar to the baseball betting. It's every day. It's a money line sport. The catcher or the pitcher and the goalie have very similar type impacts on the line and on the games. And it's so numbers based, although baseball's changing a lot with the total,
Right.
because there's more runs being scored, there's more things happening, stolen bases back. So
Right.
it's not so much like hockey that you can keep it reined in. But it's I think it's a good method. It's fun to see. You used to feel that pressure. We would talk
100%.
and you'd be like,
Yep.
what do you think about this fight? I'm like, I'm not even watching it. Why? Well, I got to come up with something for the weekend, like for the listener. And I'm like, well, I
Right.
don't.
Right.
Why do you have to? Well,
Right.
because I can't just bet on against the A's again this week. Well, yes, you can.
Right. I
Yes, you
can.
can.
And bet the under. The thing that I learned from the audience, and I actually had to ask the audience, I was like, hey, if I'm betting just like Edmonton overs every time they play, do you care? They're like, no. Like if I bet first period under every game, do you care? No. Like it just whatever. If you think it's gonna bet and hit, let it see it, bet it, and then let's see what happens. And then they'll trail afterwards. And they're like, this is great. Go run with it. If you're betting just my NBA and my NHL plays right now, you're up what? You're up a combined
You're
14
12?
units.
Yeah,
14
12
units.
whatever. It's great.
So
Just
that's
do
all you're
that,
betting
yeah.
is hockey and NBA. You're up 14 units. And that's all I had to learn a lot. This is what's the beautiful thing about the Daily Juice and why I'll be so thankful for what it created back in COVID was I learned the life. Now the school of Sharapan helped. Obviously I was a thing of clay and I've molded this thing now, but the everyday looking at the numbers, every day looking at the board, overnight numbers versus what the game goes off at, all these different things. And then us talking about it as to how the line has progressed has been the most interesting part of my broadcasting career.
Yeah.
Because even today, I watch a lot of people who are in the radio space who became content creators in the sports betting world, and they know they've not gotten to the point that I'm at. They haven't, the light bulb hasn't gone off in their head as to where the line is and what the line is doing. They may never, because I'll be completely honest.
And that's okay.
I wouldn't have either if it wasn't for one, this show, and two, me betting every day and being able to utilize your information and what you see. And now this is what the audience tells me all the time, because I speak for them in a lot of ways, asking you the questions that they have. And so because I'm doing the same thing, I'm asking the same questions that the audience has as to like, okay, let's go right to the Nuggets game. Why the hell is the Nuggets 5.5? Why is it going down when the Nuggets covered? It pushed at 6, but it covered the opening number of 4.5 and 5.
Right.
Well, aren't the Nuggets going to win game 2? They're 41-7 straight up at home this year.
They're not going to cover. That's what the movement tells you. I mean, but they bet the Lakers when the number went to the certain point. There's just a price. We're buying a price. We're not buying the result.
And that
buying the price
is the biggest thing I've had to learn, because the number is 5 now.
Right. Yeah.
Caesars is 5. South Point's at 5. 5 for the Superbook. Circa's at 5.5 still.
But minus 0.5.
Yep.
They're 5.5 minus 0.5. So whoever's sitting down there right now is going, see if anybody will lay the 5.5, make it 0.5. Give them a little discounts. Put it out there. See what they're doing.
Right.
See if anybody wants to lay it, because we need to know what's the next move. Because if we go to 5 and they don't lay it, I don't want to go to 4.5. Not after the game just fell. I don't want to open up another number
Right.
that it could fall. We already started at 6 and it's bing down. Now we're got to wait. I don't want no more numbers falling.
Mm-hmm.
Told you I talked to a couple guys after game 1. Wasn't good.
Right.
Fall 6.
What do you make of the total tonight? It's now down to 226. It still seems high to me, even after what happened in game 1. Because I think the logical theory is that the Nuggets won't shoot the way they shot in game 1, and the Lakers won't run the same way that they ran with the Nuggets.
Yes.
So is that wrong?
Well, that's good. No, I mean, that's one theory. And if you like that, you like the under. Yeah. And it's kind of correlated, right? Like if you like under, you like Lakers.
Correct.
And if you think that Denver they cannot, I don't want to say they can't, but they are very unlikely to do what they did in game 1 and make all them shots and get out to that big lead.
Yeah. Because some of the shots were just stupid.
I mean, they were silly.
I mean, yeah, they're just prayers that got hit.
You figure it to come back a little bit, which would make it tougher to get to that total. But the number's right. Like, this is the number when we talked about game one. People can go back and listen. We both said 222.5 or 223 just felt light. I would thought a lot closer to 230. 226.5, 226 is what it is right now. Circus testing the waters at 225.5 at South Point. Chris is at 227 along with Caesar. Yeah. So now we got some guys doing some booking of some games, which I love.
Yeah.
I love when we're actually booking the games and we're not, doing the color by numbers where we
Circa and an offshore place are the only two at 225.5. The Open was 223.5. So it was bet up and then it's coming back down.
I think the 223.5 was one of those ghost numbers where they just show it. It was already up to 227 and 226.
Pretty fast.
It's coming down at 225.5. I don't know. I like over again, but again, it's boring. It's
not boring.
It is.
I think regression happens tonight. The Thrive and Prosper prop of the day being brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. We've hit this on back-to-back days now with Jokic in game 1 and Brown in game 2. Brown got it easily last night. So did Jokic. I'm going to go with LeBron James over 30.5 points and assists. It's minus 105. It's actually juiced to the under tonight. I think LeBron's got a big game in him tonight.
What's the points?
25.5.
Oh. So he only has to get 5 assists if he gets the points, bro?
5.5 is his assist prop.
Huh.
I love when you
threw me off. You threw me off. I mean, you've been doing points and rebounds.
And
it's a lot easier to handicap those, I think. I mean, it was so obvious with the Brown one yesterday. I don't know if this is obvious. I think I kind of like under.
It's up to 32.5.
They're going to bet it anyway.
It's steaming up. This is wild. The last 2 games, this has gone over. It was 32.5. He had 39. It was 30.5 in game 1. He had 35. Now it's 32.5. It was 30.5 an hour ago. Now it's 32.5. Assists are up to 6.5. That's the part that's getting hit pretty hard.
Yeah, so 24.5 on FanDuel right now is his points, and his player assist is 6.5 with big juice over. Well, both of those now I'm peaking. It's probably an overplay.
Yeah, I think
probably
LeBron,
an overplay.
I like LeBron to have 25, 26 points and then have 7, 8, 9 assists tonight. Have a big day. So we mentioned this quickly before. The NBA is adding a 3-day event here in Las Vegas. Like we don't have enough stuff going on this summer.
I mean, seriously.
But this is brilliant because one of the coolest things that happens here in the middle of the summer, and if you ever come here for July 4th, the UFC does Fight Week, which is a week-long convention in which they have tons.
Are we going to get those past the credential things for that?
If you want, I'm never here. I'm always gone. I'm never here for the 4th of July. I'm always in Boston.
Oh.
I always go home because I fly on the 4th. It's great. Cheap flights. It's awesome.
Are you going to do that again?
Yeah. It's a matter of when am I leaving? I don't know when I'm leaving yet. I might leave on June 26th and come back on the 5th. I may leave on June 30th and come back on July 8th. I haven't figured out the whole details as to when I'm leaving.
Okay.
But that's every summer, that's my vacation when I get out of here. That's when I have Madeline for 2 weeks and we're going to go and figure out. I'm trying to convince her to drive I have to go to a wedding on July 1st in Nashville. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to go or not, but I'm trying to get her to drive to Nashville.
From Boston?
No, from here. From here.
Chat. Tell him.
She won't. She doesn't. I'm trying to convince her. Like
I wouldn't want to drive with you.
Why not?
That's 3 days.
We're so
in a
fun.
car
You
with you.
We could trek out the whole thing. We go to different parts of parks and cool things, and it'll be awesome. She's 9, so she's too young. She was 15, maybe she might like it, but she's too young to really get into it. And
My kids will go with you. They
Right.
asked me to do that. They want to drive across and see some ballparks this summer.
Yeah, so you could do all that. You could set up all different things. You could do different tricks. I did it with my sister when I moved twice. When I moved from Boston to Texas and Texas to Nevada, that's how we did it. We tracked where we wanted to go. and we stopped in all these different cool cities and did all these fun
Did
stuff.
you get triptychs from AAA? Did you get the
No.
triptych maps?
What? No. Why? What? AAA? What? Why? On your phone? What do you mean triptychs? For what?
Before the phones and all the apps, you had to go to AAA and like say, I'm
Oh.
driving to Florida.
Right?
Give me the maps. And they would map it out and hand you a triptych.
Do you understand that? Like convincing Madeline that I actually one day had a physical map in my hand to show me where I was going. She still falls down laughing when I tell her that. She thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. It's like, you guys you held the map in your hand. I said, yeah. She's like, why? Because we didn't have the ability to know where there was no GPS, Madeline.
Yeah.
She's like, that's awful. She goes, you get lost?
Read the signs and look at a map.
So you get lost? I'm like, all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Huge fights, marriages ended over this. Like it was just horrible.
Oh, we almost, I
Oh,
remember being witness to it a couple times on the family trip. We went to Ocean City, Maryland every year. Actually, Bethany Beach, Delaware from Pittsburgh. It was the same route. We got lost every year. My mom and dad had blowouts after missing an exit.
Historic blowouts.
Being at the wrong thing. Oh, yeah. You almost had that. You're right.
So
people are coming to Vegas for this?
The league unveiled this morning a 3-day
event. Gonna be here.
A 3-day event called NBA Con. So like Comic-Con, but NBA Con.
I don't
July
like the name.
7th, 8th, and 9th to open up the NBA Summer League. Fans will have the opportunity to meet and interact with current and past players. And a list of commitments for this year includes number 1 pick, Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, who played here in Las Vegas for the Ignite, who could be the 2nd pick in the draft if things fall the way that they're supposed to.
Right.
And then Hall of Famers Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Conley, Trey Young, CJ McCollum, Therese Halliburton. The league is saying it'll be a celebration of the best hoops culture, including interactive experiences, a chance to mingle with players, conversations featuring NBA personalities, the opportunity to play in open runs with other fans, injury central right there, fashion and footwear exhibits, and live musical performances.
Guess I know what I'm doing for those 3 days.
You going to go to it? Go buy the gear? Go buy all the hats and the jerseys and all the fun stuff?
Sounds like I'll be there at least once. Yeah, we'll be taking. I guess I'm going to have to figure out how to get the kids in there.
Oh, yeah. I that'll be expensive because, I mean, the UFC learned that, like, if you make it relatively cheap, a lot of people will come and a lot of people will be a part of it.
They're not making it relatively cheap. Nothing is relatively cheap here right now.
Yeah.
Nothing. This is going to be very expensive.
You think so?
Flights are expensive right now to come here. There's people in the chat talking about coming for, the live shows.
Flying anywhere is expensive right now.
It is super expensive.
That's like, I mean, if I fly, I would fly from Vegas to Nashville, Nashville to Boston, and then Boston to Vegas. So it's 3 legs to do this flight. And the cheapest flight that I found was like $800 each.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive.
I was like, man, that's just like, and then there's hotel, and then there's dresses, and then there's it's like, I just don't, I told my friend, I was like, she asked for like on the 22nd is a date we have to tell. And she's like, just tell me on the date. It's fine. Like figure it out. I was like, all right. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I haven't seen her in a long time. It's her 2nd marriage, and it's a small wedding. It's gonna be really cute and fun to be there. And I could show Madeline the South. She's never been in Nashville.
Right.
So I could show her the Country Music Hall of Fame. She's a huge Taylor Swift fan. So we're gonna take her to the Taylor Swift exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame and blah, blah, blah. So like, I don't know. And Nissan is based in Nashville, so I can get cars there. So it all, it all works out. But I just don't know if it's gonna be swingable or not to be able to pull that off. So, we'll figure this out. But that week is going to be very busy now because it's the 4th of July.
Right.
And it's the UFC fight is on, I think, that same day.
Oh, boy. Is that a Saturday?
I mean, normally it is. Yeah.
Let's see. When's the 4th of July? July 4th is a Tuesday. So Friday the 7th, Saturday the 8th. 7, 8, 9 is Friday.
Yeah. UFC 290 is on July 8th at T-Mobile Arena.
Oh, boy.
So you have UFC Fight Week that week and an NBA Con. You have NBA games for the summer league happening at T-Mobile at Thomas and Mack, and UFC 290, which is Volkanovski fighting against Yair Rodriguez, which is going to be an unbelievable fight, and it's an unbelievable card. Brandon Moreno is fighting for his belt. So, I mean, in 290, I want to be back because I want to go to that card. I want us to go to that card.
All
so
right,
I'll be back for that.
Okay. All right. You'll be back for that. Okay.
Yeah. For us to be able to go.
All right.
To cover that. And that's why it's really kind of funny. That's always a monster card. And it's always one of the least attended cards from the media perspective because everyone's on vacation.
Correct.
So if you're here.
But I'll tell you what, the action on that card is such a boom for the sports books. That July card was always a big deal.
It's always a big fight
because it's always usually competitive big fights.
Oh yeah, they do it right.
And there's a lot of people in town.
Yep.
For other things and that attracts them as well. So they wrap around they'll go to this NBA thing. It's really fun walking around Vegas during NBA summer league stuff.
Oh, it's awesome.
Seeing all these tall dudes.
Yep.
Walking around, you're just
right. And so many of them are just nondescript international players who are just here for a cup of coffee with the NBA because they got to fill up their rosters. They got to fill up the summer league rosters. So, but the number one picks normally play. Like, remember when Zion played in the?
Yes.
Remember the earthquake that happened during the Zion game?
Oh my God, do I remember? I was working.
Remember that?
Oh, I was sitting at the desk in the risk room. And I was like, what the is that? And it's like, I think it was only me and one other guy. He's like, I think it's an earthquake. I'm an earthquake. Like the whole thing shook. And then somebody called.
Yeah.
Trying to bet the Reds for 2 dimes.
They got everybody.
It's an earthquake.
Yeah. We can't take anything right now.
Yeah. And the guy was like, well, can I still lock in the line? It's 112. I'm like, tell him to call back. You can have 2 dimes. Go ahead.
Still locking the line. Come on, bro. We got to
building's shaking.
Yeah. The whole building is shaking. Everyone's having to go and do their thing. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we doing here?
That was an all-timer.
Oh yeah. So it's always, so like that's Wembayama. It's going to have that type of exposure. I think. We're gonna have so many people are gonna want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
That guy's 7'5" walking around. It's gonna be wild. Just to see him on the strip. Like,
yeah.
Wow, you're not small. Like you're not a small human being. You're large. Can you hear my dog barking?
Oh, for sure.
What is going on? He's in his crate flipping out.
Something bad.
No, just someone's here probably. Somebody is doing whatever at the house. That's going to be the crazy. Next week I got to board them up and put them somewhere because they're painting the house next week. So the dogs are going to be losing their minds when all the guys are on ladders and everything else, looking in the windows and everything else that they're going to be doing. So
it's just
going to be kind of nuts. I have no idea what's going on because there's nobody.
You want to go see? Go see.
Oh, there is somebody at my door.
Oh,
okay. I know what they're here to do. Okay. They're here to do stuff. Yeah, we're fine. We'll just go for another 10 minutes and then we'll be good. The dogs will relax. All right, let's talk hockey tonight. Carolina is a big favorite in game 1 against Florida. Florida has been phenomenal on the road this year, and yet here in the playoffs, and here they are again as road dogs. Total is 5.5.
Now you just froze. Snap your fingers. You're gone.
Snap. Good.
Oh, now you're back.
Yeah, I saw me snap. I saw me pop back on. It always resets itself. First, let's talk about the side. Who is more likely to want a low-scoring game tonight? Carolina.
I think it's both.
You think Florida wants low scoring?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Didn't they just win a low-scoring game series against the Maple Leafs?
They did.
Every game went under, right?
Yeah, they did.
So I don't know. I mean,
that was Toronto. I thought it was
they
Toronto.
won a low-scoring game too. I don't think I think it's equal. I don't think either team.
Huh?
Wait a second. Did that just move to 6?
It should be. It should be 6. Yes, that's what it should be. Hold on.
Hold on. All right, go ahead. Go get the dog. I'll talk to the people. Hi, people. Gorov, have a great vacation, whatever you decide to do. I just looked down in the chat. 1-star Gorov's going on vacation. Won't be around in the chat. Addison likes when I say snap your fingers. That is the best. When his dog barks, it's so ridiculous. The dog's like this big. Big bark, this big. You just want to bam, can't do it. I don't know. Next week, boys, we're going to do a little bit different of a show. So, boys and girls. So, we'll let you know about that tomorrow.
He got he was out of his crate.
Got out of his crate?
Yeah. The guys are working on the house, and he got out of his crate. That's why he was barking so loudly. He was like at my door barking. So that's why. So we're good. Sorry. I just run him.
How did the dog get out of the crate?
So his name is Ninja for a reason, because he has the ability to get out of things.
Bam.
He can climb. He's the first dog I've ever seen that can climb a fence. It's nuts.
Dog Charlie figured out how to jiggle the lock.
That's what he does.
On
Yeah.
the gate. We had to have a lock thing like put in
Cover.
so the dog, so it can't.
Right.
Because the way it was, she figured out that she could move her paw, flip it up with her nose or something, and boom, I'm free.
Yep.
So Ninja does the same.
He has long nails, so he takes it, and he knows if he hits it hard enough, it'll pop open. He just has to hit it like really hard. He goes crazy, and his nails catch, and it will rip open, and so he's free. When he really wants to get free, he can get free. So he heard the people coming to work on the house and flipped out. So next week will be, well, I guess Monday. Should we make the announcement, by the way, on what's happening on Monday, or do it on Roll Call Friday?
I just hinted that to them while you were gone.
Oh, good.
The show is going to be a little bit different next week.
Yeah. We should take 2 days. We should say it now because it's going to take a couple days to get people's attention on this.
Say it now.
All right. So on Monday,
save it for BBB bonus time.
No, we should tell everybody this because it's important because we won't be on Sports Grid. So Sports Grid, you guys who watch it on Sports Grid know that on Monday and Tuesday of next week, it's going to be a best of. You're not going to have a live show because no video for BVB. The show will be on Twitter on Monday and Tuesday. Dave is going to be in Ohio. We're going to do a Twitter Spaces BVB. So the show will be the same, except it will just be audio live on Twitter.
And then it's recorded so you could go listen to it later.
Yeah.
And we'll go into the podcast.
That's what I got to figure out if I can download it.
Okay.
Because I would rather not have to record it. I can take it and do it in real time. It'll take 2 hours to do. It would be annoying as hell, but I could do it. To put it on the podcast. Because Twitter made the announcement this morning that they are now going to allow up to 2 hours of video to be posted.
What in the hell is it doing?
I think they're setting it up for a porn site, but that's beyond me. But I have no idea what they're doing. Why do you need 2 hours of video? Like, what are we doing? Like,
wait, did you just say what?
I think that's what I think the happiest people on the planet are going to be the porn bots. 100%. 100%. You can post a full porn on Twitter now. It's ridiculous. I'm just telling you, that's what's going to happen.
I didn't even think. I was thinking like shows and stuff.
No, that's not what's going to happen. You're going to get 2 hour porn videos being put up there. I don't know what Twitter is doing with this, but Twitter made the announcement that they're 2 hour videos. So we're going to be using Twitter more. We're going to start to do more things because we have Twitter Blue. The at Boston versus the book is a Twitter verified account, and we're going to start to utilize some of the tricks and techniques that are now available on Twitter, and one of which is doing the show on Twitter, literally, not live on video on Twitter. Although maybe on Tuesday, I don't know, because I don't know, we'll see how Monday goes. Because technically, you could be on your phone, and we technically could do it on StreamYard and put it on Twitter. It would be the same thing.
Oh,
it would be the same thing.
Oh.
So we'll do Monday just audio, but we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go as well as we want it to go, then on Tuesday we potentially could just do it on Twitter as well within StreamYard.
All right.
And so it won't look like this. It will be on. Actually, we actually could do it on YouTube too. Technically, just have you tap in the same way on your phone. Just hold it up. And talk.
I don't know about Brother Doug's if he got sketchy Wi-Fi and all this other stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out. Yeah, so we'll see where you are. If you have good Wi-Fi or you have good reception,
it's going to be all messed up in the middle of the day. I don't know what the hell I'm going to be doing.
It's afternoon, not middle of the day. It's going to be afternoon for you.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess. I mean,
but the one benefit is the show could be an hour. It doesn't have to be an hour and 30 minutes. We're not beholden to anything. So if you guys are watching on Sports Grid, just know Monday, Tuesday will not be on. It will be a replay show on Monday or Tuesday for next week. For you guys who follow this, or if you don't follow us on Twitter, do it at Boston versus the book.
Right.
And there'll be a Twitter Spaces version because Dave's going to be out. It might be something we do more when I go on vacation. Dave goes on vacation. It might be the way that we kind of do it as we're on.
Wait, are we going on vacation together?
No, but like I'm leaving, you're
we
leaving.
could.
Like
Not
there's going to be
yet.
more things where we're going to be gone and doing different things. It's the summertime, so this is when people scatter and go do stuff. So you're going to Seattle with your daughters. So there's just different things going on
at the end of the week.
Right. So
this week I'm going to Ohio.
Right.
I'll tell you guys tomorrow where, because I'm going to put it out that I'm going to be.
Oh,
Brother Doug and I are going to go somewhere and either hang out, watch games, go to a book, watch games. We're going to do something.
Okay.
And I know there's a lot of close people in that area.
Right.
I fully expect to see like JC from KC at some point.
Okay.
Because he's in Cleveland. He might be close. I don't know. We'll find out. We're
Cleveland.
going to announce it tomorrow.
Where are you going to be?
I want to meet some people. Well, we got to meet some brigade.
How close
people.
is Columbus to Cleveland? I don't even know.
It ain't that far.
Really? Oh, I thought a couple hours. Oh, okay.
It ain't that far.
Oh, all right. That's good.
I don't know. Google it. How many people? Did somebody tell me how far is it from Cleveland to Columbus? Brother Doug said it ain't far at all. Columbus is 3 hours from Pittsburgh. I know that. Depending on what the card game situation may be.
2 hours and 6 minutes. I was right.
2 hours and 6 minutes to Cleveland.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like, it's not that close. it's actually
That
pretty
ain't far.
far. What? That's kind of far.
Is it?
2 hour drive each way? Yeah. It's kind of like Akron's close to Cleveland, not Columbus.
I ain't going to Akron. Nothing
No.
against Akron. But I ain't going to Akron.
Yeah,
Seabus.
Cleveland. I think Cleveland might be closer to Pittsburgh than Columbus. How far is it from Cleveland to Pittsburgh?
2 hours.
According to this, 2 hours and 7 minutes. So it's equal distance. Okay. That's wild. It's like a triangle.
It would be under
For me.
if you were driving.
Oh, 141 miles. You kidding me? That's an hour and 20 minutes.
You're
That's
setting
nothing.
land speed records. What's
No,
wrong
I'm
with
not.
you?
That's not bad at all.
That's
85 to
fast.
90. No, that's 90 miles in an hour is what I would drive. 88 to 90. 100%. Yeah, that's easy.
They're
That's
taking you to jail. They're taking you to jail if you drive that fast on that.
No, they're not. Cleveland's not going to be. No, not Ohio. Ohio's people, especially that part of Ohio. There's nothing between Columbus and Cleveland. Just farmland. Open that baby up. Let's go. Zip your way there. I bet KC from. I bet I bet our guy JC from KC can do it in an hour and a half. 90 minutes. Columbus to Cleveland.
Oh,
Also,
man.
which part of Cleveland is it too? Man,
No.
I remember last time I was in Cleveland. Oh, that's when I moved back from Des Moines. I did the drive in I slept there for 4 hours.
It was that bad?
Oh man. Well, no, I wasn't that I wanted to get out of there. It was a stopover. I needed to just rest because I was trying to get there. I was trying to get home as fast as possible. So I left Des Moines, drove 10 to Cleveland, slept for 4 hours, got up, drove 8 to Boston. Just literally to pass out. I remember just rolling. I was so tired when I don't remember anything about Cleveland except I just got to it was a whole Holiday Inn or something, and just was like I just crashed for 4 hours and then got up and like
4 hours. That's it.
yeah, it was just like I couldn't sleep. I wanted to get home. I'd been gone for so long. All of my stuff was being shipped, so it was just me and my cat and my stuff in my car, and I just went, just drove and drove and drove to get home.
Right.
And I remember driving on the Mass Pike. I was delirious after driving 18 hours to get home, but I was just wanted to get home. It was a winter time, and I was so tired. It was a lot of fun though. But yeah, that was the last time I was in Cleveland. It was a long time ago. 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Been a while for me. I know that.
When was the last time you were in the Midwest? Not home, but like a Midwest.
Took the kids back because Jess went to Ohio Northern.
Oh, nice.
So we probably went, the kids were, this is probably 12 years ago. We went to Pittsburgh, and then we went to Columbus and saw Brother Doug and his kids at the time. He didn't have the third yet, but, and then we did a little tour of her college friends, and we went to a couple really farm places, and I kept saying, please get me back to somewhere with buildings and not silos. And there was way too many animals and all this other stuff. We were in some places in Ohio. I can't even remember the names of them, but it's probably been 12 years. The kids were 19, 17.
Wait, just a real, because we're talking about states.
Yeah.
There's a report that just came out an hour ago that states the Big 12 might be adding UConn.
Come on. Come on.
I mean,
what?
This is the dumbest. If that happens, that is the dumbest move.
Are they going to play football?
Well, UConn plays football, but UConn's an independent right now.
They can't play Big 10 football.
Big
The
12
UConn
football
team.
Big 12.
God. Oh, I thought you said Big 10.
No, Big 12 football.
That's even worse. That's
Correct.
further.
Correct. They're trying. I mean, my goodness,
What
the
are
Big
we
12.
doing,
Oh,
people?
right.
What
Are we doing? If that even come close to happening, I love realignment talk. I love shuffling around. It's super fun to watch these teams move around, but there are some dumb moves that get made and dumb decisions. UConn just won the national championship in basketball. You're going to leave the Big East. You just joined the Big East. You're going to go join the Big 12 now? What? Like, what are you doing? What? This is dumb. That's stupid. I know everything's about football. I get that. But like, you're the national champion in basketball. You're in the Big East. You're where you're supposed to be. Don't go play Midwest basketball. Stay on the East Coast. Play where it's supposed to. Play Nova. Now I know first thing, wait a minute. Isn't Omaha? Isn't Creighton in the mid? Yes. Marquette. Yes. I get that. But the vast majority of schools in the Big East are on the East Coast. Providence, Georgetown, blah, blah, blah. No, it's a bad idea. Dumb idea. Wow. For you guys who are on Sports Grid, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. For you guys who are watching live on YouTube and Twitter, stick around because it's time for BVB bonus time. All right. Better to book it time.
Yep.
Dave likes it. We bet it. Dave doesn't. We book it. Under 227, Lakers and the Nuggets tonight.
Good number. I'll book it. I just think it plays more to the way it played. It wasn't enough. It was 30 points off. I mean, you got a 2-point adjustment. Makes sense. Good play. I'll book it.
Okay. Lakers plus 5.5.
I understand this play. I'm rooting against this play. I don't want to see the Lakers win a game because then they got a chance to win a series, and that's all anybody's going to talk about.
But they have a chance to win the series.
But I think we have to bet this one.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this win.
Yeah.
I want to see the Nuggets. I'd love to see them win by 10, 12, 15 points. Great.
Right.
Everybody, the Lakers leaving with the towels over their necks and heads going, I don't know what happened. All the Denver people pumping their chest. We told you they're the best team. They're the best home record. That's our MVP. All that other stuff. I hope it's Denver, but I think you got to bet this.
Under 1.5 goals in the first period, Florida, Carolina. Carolina is 3-12. Florida 3-11 to a first period over.
What's the price of this?
Minus 110, I believe.
That's it?
Or 120, I think it's what I got.
Hold on.
Let me double check and see what
period. Let's see.
I got. What did I get last night?
Oh, yeah. 1.5 over 20, over a quarter, over 15.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Surprising.
I think it's minus 105. I got minus 105. Yeah, I got minus 105.
Okay.
At Circa last night. Minus 105.
All right.
So betting it or booking it.
I mean, I like this. It's 1-0 after one.
I would agree. And I'm gonna try to thread the needle. Over 5.5 for the game. Minus 120.
Under first period.
Big second period. So what I'm doing is under in the first period.
Yeah.
Second period, live bet to the over.
Uh-huh.
Game over. Nothing after 1. 2-1. 2-1 after 2. 4-2 final.
4-2 final. That makes that's good. That's good scenario. I'll book it.
Okay.
I think it's 3-2. 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
You know what, Carolina? It's funny because Florida plays over games. You keep on referencing the Toronto series instead of the Carolina series. Every game of the last 5 but 1 went over.
Over. I know.
So I think Florida and Carolina, I think every game of this series might go over. I think this is a high-scoring series. Carolina can score. I think Florida is perfectly comfortable playing up-tempo hockey. Toronto is why those games are going under, not Florida. Florida scored all those goals against the Bruins. They want to play offensive, up-tempo hockey. And I think Carolina's going to play it with them. Okay. 5.5's too low.
We'll see. This is why we have the show. We talk about this on Go Back and Forth.
Favorite thing about today is what?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, we started the show off with it. I'm going to finish the show with it. It was meeting those guys yesterday.
Yeah.
That was really fun. Trying to explain it to my wife and daughters we were out to dinner, and I was like, I got to go. I'm like, where are you going? I'm going to Circa to see Perrault. Well, what are you guys doing? We're meeting a couple people who watch the show. What? Yeah, they're in town. They took pictures and made hats and took pictures of them in the hats at different places in Vegas, which was awesome.
Wow.
Ryan and Dave, great job with that.
Yeah, really
like
was.
That's, fun stuff. Like, I love it. But they reached out and asked you if we could meet, and we did. And just listening to people's stories, man, it was I love taking the time and learning different things. And, I mean, the offer was made. When you come to Indianapolis, we're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. I'll make sure we take care of this. And I was like, whoa, okay. Like, let's just enjoy being here right now. And I'll definitely tell you when we get to Indianapolis. That's why, I'm looking forward to this little getaway for me for a couple days as the gas tank is on empty. And we can breathe a little bit.
Recharge.
And because these conversations that we keep having, that was my other favorite thing about today was yesterday's conversation with the guy in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
The lights are finding each other. We're doing
True.
it every day here. The lights are finding each other. So keep it up, boys and girls. Keep working. Keep just building whatever ideas. Reach out. Ask the BVB at gmail.com.
Yep.
At Sports Talk Matt. Tweet me at SportsBCake and Sig, and I'll respond back. The show, Boston versus the book. We're almost to 5,000 followers.
It's great.
It's happening, man. It's happening. Keep going.
My favorite thing about today is that this is the 350th episode of the Bostonian versus the
350.
This is our 350th episode. The first episode we put out there was a teaser episode. It wasn't a real episode. So we're at 351 if you're following on the counter, but we're at 350 for official shows. And it's always nice just to kind of recognize and look back and talk about where the show is and where the show is going. But last night is, when we try to crystallize what we're doing and who we're talking to, and the light, you just said it. I think it's really accurate. Like I believe this show could be, we want to be on the positive side of things. We want to be on there's a lot of negativity in the world, a lot of negativity in the media space, a lot of negativity in the sports gambling space. A lot of people who say things, fuck that team, fuck that guy.
We can swear now. That's right.
Yeah. So, all the things that happen, all those things that go down where people are, losing whatever bet that they make, or some guy misses a free throw, or someone, goes crazy because something happens. And it's like, yeah, we do have our fun. And yes, I love hearing from people when they're like, that Connecticut rant's pretty funny. And I'm like, yeah. And I kind of explain the whole backstory, and they're like, oh, now I kind of get it, and blah, blah, blah. It's nice that we've been doing the show long enough that there's things that people can refer to that are like a year ago, like things that have been part of the show for a while, and bits that we talked about, and things that we either predicted that came true or things that predicted we didn't come true. And it's nice that you guys take the time to remember and to think and to interact with us and to talk about it with us. And we know that we make a mark. And that's really what's exciting, is that, it's May. Okay. This is the doldrum times. Most shows are crickets, and you guys keep us fired up. And tomorrow's shows will be gigantic because tomorrow's Roll Call Friday, and everybody will be jacking up and jumping up and down because it's Roll Call Friday. Yeah. So happy 350. If you were there at the beginning, we thank you. If you're new, welcome. Got 350 more to go. Hopefully you'll stick around for all of them.
Amazing. So. That's great stuff. Good call. 350. It'll be area codes tomorrow, roll call Friday. We'll talk about what we're going to do next week. We're going to change it up a little bit. We can't do any of it without you.
Nope.
That's just fact.
But do us a
First and
favor,
foremost.
tell your fellow brigade member this is happening on Monday and Tuesday. And if they don't have Twitter, I just say sorry. Like, I'll try my hardest, but like, I know people are going to get pissed off. They're like, I don't have Twitter. Okay, I'm sorry. This is just going to be, we're going to do it because Dave's going to be out of town, and it's simple and it's easy. And as we mentioned, Twitter is expanding your ability to do stuff. So we're going to do it on the BVB Twitter account at Boston versus the book coming up for the show on Monday and Tuesday. So just tell your fellow people, but it's, the last day of school. It works for me too, because the last day of school is Tuesday.
Right.
And Madeline gets out of school at 12. So it's my Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, Monday, Tuesday of next week. It's a hell week for parents. If you've got kids, you know what it's like when the kids get out of school. So until we get to the month of June, she starts going to camp for 3 weeks. So that's get me to June, please. And then we're going to have it'll be a lot easier. Just get her to camp, and then I can do the show in peace. Otherwise, she's going to be barging in here and going like, can I talk to Mr. Dave? Yeah, Maddie. So
get in the chat,
Maddie. In the chat, right? Roll call Friday tomorrow, everybody. Hit the like button, subscribe button. Matt and Dave, we're back tomorrow for an RCS.